Hello, hello, hello. I am Gepwin, and this is StarMade, and I'm working on another top secret project. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. You read the description again, it's a sheep. I had so much fun making that creeper from the last super secret project. Air quotes, since you can't see me. Super secret, air quotes. But I had so much fun with the creeper, I decided to continue, and I thought, what's the next best thing to make from Minecraft? It's gonna be the sheep. I love messing with sheep in Minecraft. They're one of my favorite animals, next to the cows and the pigs and all the other animals. So not really my favorite, but anyway. I decided that I'd make a sheep ship, because a sheep ship is cool. And it took me a while to figure out the dimensions. I eventually looked it up from a couple of other builds. I can't remember off the top of my head, I used 3 or 4. And once you look that up, it's really not that difficult because it's just a bunch of squares. And especially with the sheep, you can turn on symmetry. It did turn out a lot bigger than I thought it would. I can't remember. I'll put a link to the download in the description, so I have some stats there. But it did wind up quite a bit larger than the creeper did, especially once you factor in these huge legs. Now, I know the creeper wasn't much of a ship as far as anything. It flies a little and it explodes. I didn't need to do much else. The sheep, however, I decided why not make it a little more functional. So I gave it quite a bit of power and quite a few lasers on the thing. I decided to make it a functioning battleship. So it should be actually pretty usable as far as in-game goes. And when I was putting lasers on, I thought, why not make it shoot lasers out of its eyes? Because obviously, that's what sheep do. And if you've ever seen a sheep in the wild, they're always shooting lasers out of their eyes, and I figured I'd just make this as accurate as I could. So I put in a huge number of lasers, and then a huge amount of power. I kept having to add power just to make the lasers work out. So there I was testing. I always test when I'm building. I always put in the weapons first, then I build my power, and then I keep going back and forth and testing and adding more power and testing and adding more power. The sheep was actually really easy to add power to because it's got so much interior space. It's basically just a giant square, so I just run power all the way down each side, and it gives me a huge amount per stack. So people who have not messed with this, from my research and my experience, the best way to put power in your ship is to just build a long line across each axis. So do one long along the z-axis, one long along the x-axis, and one long along, try saying that a lot, one long string along the y-axis, unless that's the one I already said, but you know what I mean. It winds up looking like a T with a slight bend in it. So it's kind of like making 3 sides of a cube. And basically the game thinks that you filled in all of that. That's how the game works with this. So there we go. I've got a ton of shields. I put in enough engines to work. It's never going to be fast just because it's pretty huge. So I put in enough engines to make it work. Put in a couple of cockpits where the eyes are just because I like the symmetry. And I can't think of anything else to put cockpits in. And then just fill in the rest. It's pretty easy with these big blank spaces because I wanted it to look like the Minecraft animal. So it's just a bunch of big blank spaces. Putting more texture on doesn't really make sense. The one thing I've run into with these, and one thing that I hope they keep doing in StarMade, is adding more colors. Because these ship colors, they're okay. There's a few, and they're good for ships, but if you want to do anything more organic-y, or especially some of the buildings and stuff, the colors just don't quite work out. There aren't quite enough of them. Especially for anything like this, I had to use yellow instead of the tan, and it made the face look a little odd. And there's no pink. And there we go. Laser sheep. Laser sheep shooting lasers out of its eyes, which I just think is awesome. I want a sheep that shoots lasers out of its eyes. There we go. Yeah, that's a little too much of that. You're gonna get bored of that, so let's see what we can test it on. Revenge of the Sheep. Revenge of the sheep. The sheep can take out a creeper. I've never seen a creeper attack a sheep, but now, revenge of the sheep. It's the sheep's revenge. Die, creeper. Die. Haven't you ever wanted that? This would be so awesome if you could train your Minecraft sheep to kill off your creepers. You'd never have to worry about creepers again with this thing. Yes. Okay. Where's the... Yeah. Some cinematic flying. Let's continue with some cinematic flying. I think I went a little overboard on this, honestly. I was just having a ton of fun flying around and shooting lasers out of my eyes. But this has been the Minecraft sheep. I'm having a ton of fun with these. Like, subscribe, yell at me in the comments, whatever you feel like doing. I am Gepwin. This is a laser sheep, and I will see you soon.